Would you like to be prepared energetically, spiritually for the next month, the next eclipse season? Can you believe it? March 2025. Changing of power, changing of leadership. There is some system, some structure, some powerful force in your life that you've been following for some time. Could be 15, could be 10, 15 years, 11 years, I'm hearing with some people. And your soul is saying, it's time to end this contract, to walk away, to cut the cord. As a conscious channel of the human collective, I pick up on themes and patterns and energies. And I'm noticing this very strong arc for March. And it's got to do with changing of the guard, or the usual gatekeepers that you have to perform for, you have to answer to. I feel like you're just not going to want to walk through those gates anymore. I'm feeling like those entry points where you had those leaders on a pedestal, or you had this organization, this structure on a pedestal. You are seeing through the falsehood of that structure now. You're seeing that there's no merit to it, that this false domination over you is just not real. And you're not willing to play the game, you're not willing to answer the questions, and you're certainly not willing to jump through hoops anymore to please this artificial ego structure, ego person, place, or thing that has caused you your peace of mind and your alignment. This thing is a symbol of how out of alignment you get when you give your power away. When you dance the way they want you to dance, and you perform rituals to keep these old power 3D egoic structures in place, you compromise your sovereignty, and you're not going to do that anymore. You're not willing to falsely place your power in an outside source that is completely unethical. Maybe it's even immoral. But you know what? Even if it's not those things, if it's not that deep, it's just not true for you anymore. Perhaps it helped you to a point, perhaps it was a bridge, perhaps it was a necessary focal point up till now. I'm sensing claircognizantly that you're just seeing through it now, and you're saying, no, this is not real. You're seeing that it's not real. right? It's not this power that you've given it. And let's take accountability. Anyone who's alive up to this point, you watching this video, you gave it power up to this point. You chose to believe in this thing outside of you that is artificial, that cannot sustain you, and it will promise you it will. It will offer you the sun, moon, and stars. But deep down, you know it hasn't got what it takes. It hasn't got the energy that it claims to provide. Because every time you place your authority outside of you, you're buying into a false matrix. Every time you believe in something that deep in your heart of hearts you know is not true, you're investing in a false reality. March is going to further enhance the truth, what's real. And you get to decide what's real now. That's the crazy thing here. If you invest in falsehoods, you are claiming that as real for you. If you invest in falsehoods, you are selecting that reality. I'm literally receiving this download of energy right here and right now. This is as much for me as for you. So in February, we opened up the Pandora's box. Whether we liked it or not, we unleashed lots of new timelines. And we also got to very honestly look at our raw beliefs about things. We got to really examine and to explore how we really feel about reality, about our lives, about our relationships, about our jobs, our structures that we buy into, that we partake in daily. I feel many people are going to do a U-turn on how they spend their daily structure and routine. And that most likely will, for many people, not for everybody. Of course, these are general readings of the collective energy. But mainly what I'm very connected to as I tune in is the empaths, the teachers, the carers, the givers, the spiritual, open-hearted sensitives of the world. But this applies to everybody, because I really feel that even those who we would quote unquote say are unconscious, I feel like everybody's feeling this. Everybody is feeling this intense time, especially like I'm recording this at the end of February. So February has opened up the Pandora's box. March, eclipses start to kick in. We also have Venus retrograde. So there's a lot happening in the energy around us. But that's really all mirroring back what's happening inside our own system, inside our bodies, our intelligence, our soul wisdom. amongst all this change, there will be cutting of ties, cutting of contracts. There will be endings. There will be endings for what is truly dead and done. There will be, I feel, a quick acceptance of those endings and a turn on the heel and off you go. I don't feel like those endings will be long and drawn out, because I think that anything that hits this eclipse season now is going to just collapse, finish, complete, and the new energy is stacked up behind the door, so to speak. The new energy, once we open that door, that new energy is just going to flood in and it's going to pull us forward. Mars going direct, it's pulling us, magnetizing us into our 5D lives. And it's not about tomorrow, it's not about next month, it's here, it's now. It's now, now, now. What else would you like me to say about March? This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, I'm hearing that the end of March, there could be power squabbles, I'm hearing. I'm actually hearing the word power squabble. So the words, there's some kind of, if you are unclear about who you are now, you might struggle with this eclipse season, with the next few weeks, because, well, you're going to struggle in life if you don't know who you are. Let's not put it into a calendar. We've had lots of time to reflect and to percolate on who we are, what we want, where we're going. So I feel the stronger you are in your self-concept now, and the more you step into courage, I think the most needed energy in March will be strength and courage. Courage is a big one for this time, yeah. So being courageous about who you are, what you want. Boldly selecting what that is. And standing firm in the knowing, not the hoping, not the trying, in the knowing that this is you and this is the 5D reality that you prefer. And I'm hearing not digging your nails in and digging your heels in. Be flexible, be open, be loose, be light. That's important, because that energetic approach is going with the flow. And the alternatives flow is other realities that are full of dreamed of heaven on earth scenarios, stories, because really our lives, we're playing out these stories. And you get to decide what story you invest in. Sometimes we get stuck in the old 3D story of struggle. And now I feel we're kind of waking up, rubbing our eyes and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've got to do a U-turn, or I can turn this boat around, or you know what? I thought it was left or right. I realize it's the middle. I'm going straight through the middle ground. I'm going towards who I am now. And I trust that by being my authentic self and by being honest in my heart of hearts, that I can be seen. You see, a lot of us pull back from our desire because the fear of being seen, of being truly seen in all the authentic colors that we are, it's terrifying for the ego mind. The soul wants to be seen as it is. The soul wants that genuine reflection to be displayed in reality. Back to March. Be careful of aggressively going after what you want. That's the 3D toxic masculine approach of the patriarchal old world that is dead. This new approach is a balance between the masculine and feminine. It's a balance. It's the middle way again. I'm back to this, okay? I'm learning as I channel. I'm back to the middle point. We've got yin, we've got yang, we've got feminine, we've got masculine. This 5D energy requires a neutral space in the middle. Be neutral. Be flowing. To access the alternatives flow, one needs to be flowing. One needs to be fluid. One needs to be flexible. If you are too aggressive, and there's Aries energy here, which when it's in the shadow side, it can fall into aggression and domination and power squabbles. And you'll probably see this play out in the shadow of politics on the news, in the outside world, but you are in the world, not of the world. So be careful what you're observing and what you're giving your attention to as real. And if you do observe it, stand back and see it for the symbol that it is. If we can stand firmly in a neutral space that is loving of the self first, and extending the light. The Course of Miracles talks about the extension, right? The extension of atonement. If we can be in and of that energy, amazing miracles can happen. And allow the eclipses to work for you, my friend. Allow them. I say this every year, and it's so true. When I got a grasp on this, allow the nature, the natural, the organic to work for you. When you flow with that, with these eclipses, allowing whatever is eclipsed out, because eclipse season is when the universe steps in and says, my love, my child, let me help you here. Allow me to remove whatever is a burden, whatever has become burdensome. And allow me to give you so that you can receive. Allow yourself to receive what is your birthright and what is yours. You who has chosen to live this experience at this time. There's so much more I have to say about these energies, but I don't want the video to be too long. Let that percolate, meditate on this. You can sit down, close your eyes, sip a cup of tea, listen to these messages. I'm going to have to listen back on this because it's just come through right now, and I wanted to catch it while it was raw and fresh. But I do feel that the time that humans call March, this is probably going to be one of the most memorable springs between February, March, April that you've had in a long time, maybe even in 10 years, in a decade or more for some people. There is a shift of power. You get to decide where you place your power now. And wherever is true in your heart, who has the power that you feel is worthy of you placing your consent with, your attention, your higher consciousness, your God self, your whole self, You have full permission to do that, and it's time. In fact, you are being encouraged to have the courage to do that now. The light in me, as always, recognizes the light in you. If you appreciate this content, you can click like, and that really supports me and helps me to keep doing the work I'm doing in honor of you and service of humanity. From me and the angels, bright blessings.